What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Aha, and we're back with another demo and live version tandem. For the demo this time, we're going to listen to a demo that was included in the Stay on These Roads Deluxe Edition, thank you again to Sophia, but was actually later included as a proper song on East of the Sun, West of the Moon. So yes, it's from 1987, this demo, so a few years before they actually turned it into an album track. The album track I enjoy, a sense of being in a motor vehicle, but also a sense of peril that one might pass away from either careless driving or some other mishap, but then talking about the difference between a cold river and an open field. Ultimately, it's a song that has the evolving sound of their music as you get to the 90s, meaning it sounds more guitar and rock centered, less keyboard and synth centered. Not that you don't hear electronic sounds on the track, I think you do, but as I said, it sounds less synth poppy than the tunes from their first couple albums or first few albums in the mid to late 80s, so maybe this one will have more of a keyboard sound. I do believe Sophia mentioned to me that some of the lyrics are different, so I'll be on the lookout for those, though again, when you listen to so many songs, there's different parts that stand out to you, other parts that you have to wait till you hear them again and then you recall them in the moment. So as I said, I'll be on the lookout for different lyrics, but do let me know if I miss any of the changes. This is Aha and a demo version of Cold River included on the deluxe edition of Stay on These Roads, though the proper track is later on East of the Sun, West of the Moon.
Took her
was an interesting closing to the tune, but it feels like because it was a demo, they just cut it off super short or super rapidly. But yeah, so sonically, I noticed more differences. It feels more keyboard driven, but I would say more drum machine driven in terms of the difference with the eventual album track on East of the Sun, West of the Moon. Meaning the keyboard melody felt not too far away from some of the sonics on the later proper track, but here the biggest difference I noticed is the sound of the percussion, the beat, the rhythm. It did feel more drum machine and less rock percussion. We still get guitar and a really notable guitar sonic element right in the middle of the track, so it still sounds transitional relative to what they were doing in 87, 88, but it sounds less like the evolved aha sound of the early to mid 90s. So yeah, it makes sense that this is a demo from the year it came, but you can also hear inklings of maybe where Paul especially perhaps was keen to go. Yeah, and if I'm remembering this correctly, this is a Paul written song. Nevertheless, I feel like the lyric differences didn't stand out that much to me. The bits that I was hearing were song lyrics I remember from the proper track. I feel like it was definitely shorter, so if anything, it felt like maybe there was a verse or a section that was added or fleshed out later for the proper album tune a few years later. But yeah, what I was really keying in on mentally as I went through that was some of the sonic differences. I like that moment where I'm guessing it's Morton and Mags, they both sort of rise up with their voices, and ultimately, again, it's been a little while, so I'm not sure if that moment happens the same way in the later proper album tune, but I enjoyed the lightness of that moment. I do like those long extensions from Morton that really carry under the ending of the chorus leading back into the next interlude and verse. So yeah, a cool tune in development, and as I keep saying, it's interesting to hear what they do with tunes over time, knowing that some tracks they had in the archives of their demo work for a long time before they eventually brought them to fruition and put them on a proper studio album. It's also interesting to hear that, you know, the distinction between what they were trying in a more experimental and niche discovering phase prior to their debut album relative to what would eventually come on the first couple albums. Fast forward a few years and they're still toying around. They're still experimenting and trying things in demos and maybe putting some of them back on the shelf, and then a few years later, let's try this again, let's try to rework it and develop it more, and in some cases them actually becoming album tracks. So yeah, the creative process of Aha continues to unfold as we go through these demos, which is a nice product of going through them, or byproduct of doing this demo live tandem as we've been doing, hearing the developmental process and then the performance process as we go through time, where I've already heard the studio released material from that phase, or from those different phases. So once again, cool to go through it. One more Aha reaction in this batch. We'll be back for the final live in Croydon tune in the bonus material that we've been going through for the live stuff. So let me know what you think of this, and I will see you for that one. Peace.